Hi, everybody. Tammy here, and I wanted to talk about the newest releases for Google Meet, and this is for the enterprise version only. So let's talk about breakouts, polls, and Q&A, and these are in the activities icon. So I'm going to go jump over here to a Meet that I've launched with the help of some instructional coach friends. Thank you very much. So in this Meet, I want to just show a couple of things here. First of all, you do have host controls. Please always make sure as the teacher that you are the first into the Meet. So you are able to have these host controls. In the host controls, you can access the quick access, the sharing of the screen for everybody else, and the chat feature for everybody else. You can turn those off. All right, and so I'm going to start over here in the participants and the meeting details. So at this point, you could add people here. You can also access your host controls here. You can also access your host controls in the settings, in your main settings right there. All right, and when you go over to the chat feature, you're also able to turn that off, toggle that off, and that will keep everybody from being able to use the chat feature. But today I want to talk about the new icon, and that's called the activities icon. And in this activities section, we have breakout rooms, polls, and Q&A. So let's go through them one by one. All right, for breakout rooms. So once you enter the breakout rooms, you're able to change the number of breakout rooms. That's up to you. You're able to shuffle, and so the participants are evenly distributed throughout the breakout rooms. You're also able to rename your breakouts. So if you have different groups and you have different group names, you can name them here. And we'll do the next one, Group B. And then you can also just keep shuffling, or you can drag and drop. So I can shift this one to here, and then I can shift Laurie up to here. I can clear it. It's going to put everybody back in the main room, and then I can just drag all the participants to their group. So that's up to you, or I can just hit shuffle, and it's going to evenly distribute them once again. All right, once you have gotten all your participants in their groups, then you just click on Create. And when you do launch this, notice the little blue spinning circles here. This means that all these participants have been invited to these breakout rooms, but they are going to need to join those breakouts. So they're going to need to agree to that. Once they do, then those blue circles will stop and you'll see that they are in that. Okay, and you can see here from the participant point of view, this pop-up comes up, join a breakout room. You're joining group A. This was the one that was assigned. You can return to the main room at any time. So this person or this participant would click join, joining group A. So it does create a different breakout. So as you can see, this participant has already accepted and they are now in that room. So as a host or as the teacher, you're able to now join different rooms. Now, unfortunately, we're not able to monitor all the rooms at once, but it does make it quite easy to move between the rooms. So if I want to join group A, I just click on join, and now I'm in this group. And now I'm in this group here. And I'm able to leave, or I can just quickly join group B. But when I leave, it will put me right back into the main room. And please notice that all of these students are still in the main room because they have not accepted their invite to those different groups. When you are ready to end the breakout rooms, you just simply click on End Breakout Rooms. This will pop up. Everybody will be returned to the main room, and they're all going to be back into the main room, and you are able now to create those breakouts once again. So you're back at the beginning. As you can see that the breakout rooms have ended because the host turned them off. it says you're returning to the main room, and you click return, and it will return you to the main room. Okay, now let's move on to polls. Polls are found right here under Breakout. It's very, very easy to start a poll. And again, this is your host feature. You can ask a question here, and then you can put as many options as you want to. Add options if you need to. Now you can save this, or you can launch it immediately. If you choose to save, you still have it here. You can choose to toggle to show everyone the results as they are taking the poll. You can edit here, you can delete it here, but if I launch it, then it's going to be live and it's going to show up in the chat feature on the right. I saw a lower right pop-up that mentioned that there was a new poll that had been launched, and I also have a little green dot in the activities icon. So when I click on that, and you see the little green dot to the right here under polls, so I go to the poll and I see this, and I can just choose my vote, and it says I voted. So as you can see, as the votes come in, you'll be shown them in the poll live. You can also choose to show everyone the results by toggling this on, and they'll be able to see their vote as well as everybody else's vote. When you're ready to end the poll, you can end it here, or you can throw away the poll. If you end the poll, these results will be sent to you by email to the host. And you can also create another poll as well. All right, and then the last one we're going to be talking about is the Q&A. Now, Q&A is just a simple way to let participants or your students ask a question during instruction. So if the host is doing an instructional meet time, then they are able to ask questions along the way. And a little difference between Q&A and chat is that with Q&A, other participants are able to give it a thumbs up or like it. So you're able to see if other students or other participants have that same question, and then you will be able to see those questions pop up and you can answer them in real time while you're doing instruction. So let's turn on the Q&A. This means we're going to allow questions. That means anybody in the group can ask questions. You can also ask a question, but really the point is that the host is receiving the questions to be able to answer those questions. As a student or a participant, if I see the little dot where that says Q&A, that means this is open. There's no questions at the moment, so if I ask a question and then I post that question, I can delete my own question. I can also upvote my question. And so now we have a question from a participant. We can hide it here. We can mark it as answered, so we see the question pop up and we answer it live during our instructional time. I can delete the question. I can also upvote it as well. But if you see many participants or students are upvoting that particular question, then that just gives you a heads up that you need to address that question as soon as possible. When you have answered it, you just click on answered. And then when you're done at the end of your instructional time, then once you head on over to your questions, and then you can just sort by unanswered and just see the questions that have not been quite answered yet and see if you need to address that before you leave. It is defaulted with all questions and the oldest first. You can sort that as well. You can sort it with popularity. So if it has the most upvotes, then you can address those questions first. As the host, you are able to stop allowing questions by just toggling that off. Those questions will be sent to you by email and it will be provided in a Google Sheet, just like the polls. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Some great practical additions to Google Meet. just filling out a very robust application that's very practical in our times of remote learning or hybrid learning. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Have a great day.